Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cosmic Soul Embodiment Journey. Wow, we've got some extremely powerful people on this call with us. So thank you so much for being here, for bringing your energy, for bringing your light, your truth. We are excited to share with you the journey we're going on here today together. So welcome into the space. And as we get started here, I was having a little difficulty with my laptop, but all is aligning. I just wanted to take a moment and just set up further the space. I'm seeing that we're needing to expand it quite a bit. You guys are some rather large beings that are joining us. And one of the intentions of moving into this cosmic soul embodiment journey is really welcoming in all of you, really calling forward that divine spark that you are. So know that you're in the right place, and we have so much to share with you on this journey. So welcome. I'm going to give just about another minute here. I'm feeling we have a few more that are coming into the space before I'm actually going to go ahead and lock this meeting because of the level of light that's coming in. I really want to hold it sacred and to hold each one of you and your container sacred while we go on this together. So I'm going to give another moment here for those to join. But as we're waiting for them to join, just take a moment to go ahead and sink into you. Calling back all of your awareness so you can be fully present here. Filling into the divine sacred space that's being co-created for you today. So great to see you, Arja and Ray. It's been a moment since I've seen you as well. We have some people I have not yet to meet. Marta, hi Kristen and Tasha, blessings Kendra, Catherine, Amy, hi Julie. I believe I had just met you, and those joining in on the phone, and all of you that will be joining us going forward. Know that any and all things that are occurring in this space, that all of the energy is available to you however and whenever you tune into this. So we're going to go ahead and step into that. Let's get started. Go ahead and lock this meeting. Amazing. Once again, welcome into the space. I am Katrina Armstrong. I've been on the most wondrous journey with spirit, with being here in this physical body. I'm serving in many capacities, but I am a multidimensional visionary, a seer, a conduit, a channel, all for the new earth creations, the resources, supporting others with coming into their soul's truth and actualizing it here on the planet. So this is a little bit of how it is that I get the opportunity to serve here. And I know each one of you have as well been serving on different capacities too. So thank you so much here in the front end for all that you've done up to this point, because it's been a journey to get here. to get to this place where we can work with the cosmic heart, where we can tap into this new earth matrix and really bring forward those creations that the planet is ready for. So thank you. Thank you for all that you have done. I'm certain that you can relate to playing many different instruments. So I've been working with the deployment of energy coming into the planet now for almost 7 years. Traveling, getting the opportunity to work with Mother Earth on some just incredible levels, with releasing just beautiful sacred seals on energies that we now are using to create, as well as working with the grid lines on with several levels of the New Earth Matrix and the higher levels of forming and creating the new matrix that are coming in, because it's always evolving, continuously changing, just like each one of us. We always are. And I know today, through this journey that we'll be going on, a lot of this journey will be occurring as each one of us share with you the part that we have been blessed to bring forward. You may already begin to feel movement of energy through the body, the cosmic body, that awakening, that movement. So ready. It's ready to come online, ready to share with you, and to bring you deeper into that embodiment of all of your multidimensional access points and the things that you are here to bring to the planet to illuminate here. So I know that this is going to be just incredible. So as we get started here, I just want to share with you the speakers that are here on this call with you are some of the most incredible beings that I have been blessed to co-create with, each one of them carrying just a very unique spark for you on this journey, and more importantly, that each one of them have done the inner work to be able to come forward and share with you their own piece and to have embodied it in the way that they have. So to see their commitment and to see the evolution of them has been profound for me. And all of them, every single one of them have taught me and have allowed me to come deeper into my own truth. Really, when you find those that are aligned in your life, you continuously grow together, and it's just really just not even able to compare to what it was like before, you know, our awakening and coming into this place of having each other to support through it. So very, very grateful for each one of them. And as they come in and present themselves, really fill into what it is they're providing. Everything that you will receive here is highly light encoded. So for those of you that have the ears to hear and the eyes to see, you're going to feel and witness that movement of energy, that connection. For really, we want you to get the absolute most out of our time together. So thank you so much. I'm going to begin here with calling Maya to share with you what it is that she is doing. But right before she does, I want to share that all of us are a part, teachers, trainers, truly way showers. All of us are channels and conduits, serving in the way that our vessel is meant to in that moment. And one of the things that we are creating is this movement. Each one of them have really been of great support of birthing this, a movement that's been birthing through me, through my work, called the Living Covenant, with the intention of resurrecting the promise of peace, of truth, of compassion and sovereign power. So you're going to find these threads, these very strong resonance lines moving through each one of us as we speak, calling this forward within you. So the journey already began when you got on the call. So making way for Maya now to come forward and to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Katrina. So would you like me to share a little bit about what my feeling is that I wish to speak at our gathering in May, or how would you like me to frame this?
Beautiful, Maya. I would like for you to just bring through how it comes through you. If you would like to share with them the wonderful and powerful experience that we will have here together in May, then do so. However, Maya, I know it's perfect.
Right. Well, I'll just free flow then. Probably most of you have read our little blurb on each one of us, so I'll be brief on that. But I began my work, gosh, I guess when I was born, but consciously as a real service. I began it when I was about 16 or 17, and it was like the burning bush. It just hit me, and in many dramatic ways. And my mother was extremely supportive. My father had already passed, unfortunately, when I was 10. He was a wonderful person. I'm sure he would have supported me as well. But it was just my mother and I. I was an only child, born when she was 45. And so it was just the two of us. We were not highly metaphysical at the time. We're talking about a long time ago, folks. It was 1967. So, we didn't think about those things, but yet we were open-minded. And when all these started happening for me, my mother was right there with me. And I was very blessed to have her because she supported me in all of this in a very tender time. I was very young. And it was not like nowadays where everybody's out there doing this, and it wasn't that way at all. You had Edgar Casey and, a few others that were back in there in the history books, and that was it. And there was no internet, of course. So it was pretty primitive. So I was very blessed. And I have always done this work. I have never done anything else. Well, I had six weeks in Dairy Queen when I was 18. But other than that, I've always just done this. And somehow the universe has supported me. So what do I do? Well, my communication is basically with the Akasha, the divine records of the planet and the cosmos, but it comes directly through the Thoth Akasha, through the master being Thoth, whom I've struck up a communication with since 1977. But in 1967, the sources that came to me were ultra beings. They actually were ultra terrestrials. My mother and I saw the ships together. We saw them in our rooms together at the same time. Not always, but it happened. Sometimes they came to her to ask her to come and get me because well, I was kind of afraid when they'd appear in my bedroom at night, and she wasn't. So they'd say, well, when you go over in her bedroom with me, so she won't scream at me. I know it's kind of funny, but that's the kind of thing that happened. So we had a rich experience with these ultra beings for several years. But in that time, they told me that my benefactor Thoth would be with me. And they didn't say his name. They just said I had a benefactor. And it was in 77 that he actually came forward in my conscious mind. Of course, he was with me all along, but in my conscious mind. And that's where I began. And through these over 50 years, I have churned out, a lot of material, a lot of written material, and more recently, a lot of videos on ancient sciences, histories, spiritual directions for people to work with, things of that nature. The sciences seem to stand out more than anything. And when Edgar Mitchell got back from the moon as an astronaut, I sent him, or my mother sent him, some of my sciences. He called and asked to speak with me, and then he researched me for a while. He was the one that, I was only 20 at the time, and he gave me the confidence that my science was genuine. I won't go into all of that. You're going to hear a lot more about that in the May experience. But so I just really feel so natural about what I do because I was raised by these beings in a conscious way. And my mother was there with me. I was very fortunate. I didn't have the experience that many have had where their parents are going, what is the matter with you? That kind of thing. My mother was just right there with me. So it helped me develop my talents unimpeded. I had the luxury of focusing on them. And while I've never had wealth, and I have health problems, so I don't get out there and do, workshops and go around all over the country. So I don't really make much money, but somehow I'm always taken care of. And it's a lesson for all of us that you really, really follow your heart, and you don't go out and do extreme things. You stay centered with what's natural and feels right to you. You will be taken care of. That is the path for us. And I feel that by my example of that, I can literally impart this to other people through my story and through the things that I see, experience, and develop and bring through. That it kind of is an energy. Sure, I'm talking about things, and they may be interesting and maybe not, but it's the energy of what I impart. It's the experience of my life. I just had my 70th birthday. It's the experience of my entire life in this frequency and in this vibration that I impart energetically to others. That's the thing that I feel is the most valuable to receive from me. So thank you.
Beautiful, Maya. I just want to just take a moment and agree with you about how when you're really following what your heart is showing you and you're on this path, that you're always taken care of. I have seen miracle after miracle when, I was called out and asked to just leave my life, leave all of my things and get into a vehicle with like $200 to my name, and somehow I'm going to make it across the US. And, just having that faith and that knowing and watching things that, would have been just impossible before unfold before me, and things that don't even logically sometimes make sense to the mind that come together when you're really living this and you're connected in this way. It is beautiful. So I want to go ahead and open this up, Maya, for you to share what it is that you have brought to the call, the tool, the piece that you were guided to do so you can keep things
going. Well, I thought it was going to be one thing, but I'm feeling now that I just want to go a little bit more free-flowing. I want, as we started this whole gathering today, just before we did, I closed my eyes for a moment, and I had this feeling, this symbol came up for me. It's not the one I'd planned to share with you, so I don't even have that ready for you, but it will be shared at the gathering. But this was as an energy, it was a quality of energy, and I was told as I saw it, and it's very simple. It's just a triangle with a flame in it, basically. Actually, it's two triangles, one smaller, one bigger, and there's a white, brilliant flame in the center of it. So I'm going to ask you to just take some few moments with me, and you can close your eyes or not, but just get in sort of a meditative space. And I was shown how I could literally send this white flame to you. And what does this mean? The white flame is the Christic vibration. And I'm not speaking about a religion, or about a religion. I'm speaking about the universal Christic flame. And when it is sent to you, and I'm not sending it, I'm just helping you focus on it, it allows you to open up to the truest being that you are. And therefore, you're going to know what you need to be doing in life. It's not magical. I don't want to put that expectation into your mind. It's not magical. It seeps into the organic structure of your being. And Thoth has said to me, my mentor, many times, matter does matter. We're not to try to escape it. We're trying to truly live it as it's expected to be lived, because we're only living this tiny, tiny little bit of what matter really is, what our physical self really is. It's a dimensional being, but it doesn't leave the flesh. It invites the flesh as part of that experience. So this flame is not magical, but it is intrinsic to your nature. It calls out that intrinsic quality, that is. So let's just take a few moments, and I'm going to ask you to just be with this vibration. I say probably closing your eyes is best. I'm going to close mine, and let's just be with it. I'm going to sort of guide you into the receptivity mode so that in your own way, you can be receptive to it. So let's just take a few moments. Take some breaths and feel yourself in your sacred space, however it is that you do that. And I want you to picture a golden triangle. And inside the golden triangle is another golden triangle about half the size. Now, in that second triangle is a brilliant white crystal flame. It is terminated, it has a point at both ends, and it's not like fire. It's like crystal that's alive and on fire. It's what Thoth calls the fire that does not burn. It's beyond that. So I want you to feel and see that crystalline flame glinting and glimmering with the inner fire inside its two triangles. As you see this, I want you to feel that it's aligning with your heart. You're going to put your heart right in alignment, right in the bullseye with the crystal flame, the white crystal christic flame. And there's going to be, again, a gentle weaving experience where the flame weaves itself in a beautiful pattern of delicate sacred geometry into the weave of your etheric heart, which Thoth calls the atoma. The planet has an atoma, all stars have an atoma, every molecule, every atom has an atoma, and you, as a combined being in your heart, you have an atoma that registers for the whole body. So that crystal flame is going to line up and be connected to the heart atoma. As it does, there is one single message, one single command that is spoken into your heart, and that is love. Not cozy, warm, cuddly love, which can be wonderful, but this is beyond that. This is the power. This is the sword of light. This is love in its crucible, in its fiery place of true consciousness. Because when we are truly conscious, we cannot be anything else but the fiery branding of love. It brands everything we do, all our experience, and it sends out that message to the world. We are truly the I am of the living flame. So take a few moments without me saying anything more, and just live that, commune with that. And now I want you just to breathe that in. Breathe in that flame and spread it throughout your entire body, all the energy bodies into the auric field, through the crown, the top of the head, connecting to your higher spiritual network of being. and know that this presence, this divine flame, has branded into your heart atoma the secret doctrine of your deepest being, who you are, how you live your life in perfection. Perfection is not spotless. Perfection is true to source. And that sometimes, well, usually has little glitches in it. But the glitches aren't mistakes. They aren't wrong. They're simply places where you are readjusting to that frequency. And when we see that, when we know that, we become the power of the flame. And so with the power invested in me as it is in you, I hereby bless and witness this for you. And so it is. You may return now, and thank you for sharing this journey with me.
Pulling you all back into the body, back into the container, bringing all of this with you, still radiating through the body. Welcome back. I want to go ahead and open up the space for Matthew to intervene and to share and to enlighten us with what it is he has to share.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you, Maya. That was exquisite. And I am really, really happy to be part of this team. Thank you, Katrina, for delivering a beautiful introduction for all of us. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't be sitting in this beautiful container that she's created. And so what I'd like to do first is what's in my heart is to share with you a song. My calling is about, there's a part of me, a part of my soul that's in the spirit world. And it's with, my soul is with the ancestors. And I have a gift of being able to channel in energies from my high source energies, from the energies of the masters and my ancestors. So in this song that I'm going to share with you, it's about remembering who you are, remembering your connection, remembering your connection to your high self, remembering that every chakra in your body has a heart, including you, and your auric field has a heart. Everything around you is love. And this is about learning how to remember your power, to remember your abilities. Nothing is new to you. Everything is already inside you. But it takes a little bit of energy and love and medicine to open that up for you so you yourself can experience that divine flow. So without further ado, I'm going to sing this song to you to help you open your hearts and get connected to this energy vibration that we're going to create right now with this medicine. Oi, hoi, oi, hoi, oi, hey, oi, hoi. Oi, hoi, oi, hey, oi, hoi, oi, hey, oi, hoi. Oi, hoi, hey, oi, hey, oi, hey, oi, hoi, oi, hoi, oi, hoi, oi, hey, oi, hey, oi, hey, oi, hoi, oi, hoi, oi, hey, oi, hoi, oi, hoi, hey, oi, hoi, hoi. Hey, oi, hey, oi, 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 hey, 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 oi, 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 hey, oi, oi, So that song is about bridging your energies to the other side. And a lot of the work that we do is about bringing your energy signature. So we all have a superpower. We all have an indigenous part of ourselves, the way we were born into this world. And it's up to us to figure out what that is. And so we need help. So one of the best ways to find help is to love yourself. Learn to embody your own love and all the different parts of yourself all at the same time. And when you can come to that place inside yourself, you know, you're gonna have a voice. Sometimes it's important to sit by a river or by a creek or just be out in the wilderness and just listen. And when you listen, that energy comes into your body and starts to bring out a song. And for me, when I was growing up, I didn't have a good voice. I was really afraid of having my voice until later on in my years. I started singing with my brother, who was teaching me how to bring out these songs. And so as I progressed in these song singing, I started to recognize that I have a huge amount of energy that comes through these songs. So I started having ceremony. And so what I want to share with you right now is that, like Maya, before I came on today, I had a meditation, and I was visited by Sananda. You know, I'm a very eclectic person. Even though I'm Yaqui and adopted by the Lakota people, I'm a sun dancer. I'm also a metaphysical energy master, to where it's a natural form for me to live. You know, it's a natural feeling for me to go to places and feel energy. And it's important for me and my mission to help those who are searching for their own power to bring that in and to consolidate that and harness that so we can send that energy out into the world. And I recognize as we change as human beings, everything else is going to change around us. But if we don't do inner work, you're going to find chaos. And that's just not something that, you know, it's important to recognize the things that we have to change in ourselves. It took me a long time to get to this place where I can actually recognize myself and some of my addictions, some of my lower vibrations that I'm still working on. But, you know, part of being human and being spiritual, you learn to bring those energies together and really connect to your highest good. And as you bring those energies in, you know, you're going to start to facilitate beautiful experiences in your life and in other people. Sometimes you don't even have to say anything. You're in the presence of that person and you're helping them to change. So during this weekend that we're having, I'm going to share with you guys some more songs. We're going to be having a ceremony using my eagle fan. The eagle fan medicine that we bring is a fan, an eagle fan, an actual fan of an eagle that I use at dance, Sundance, and we use it to heal people. But I'm going to bring this to you and to help you experience what it means to bring love up from the earth into your body and out of your head to help clear any veils that are keeping you hidden from yourself. So, like I said before, I was meditating and Sananda came to me, and I was laying down, and he had a real dark beard, but I knew it was Sananda by the way he was talking to me. He says, the whole world is going to heal. And that to me means a lot. When he said that to me, he says, the whole world is going to heal. And this is how they're going to heal. And as he was saying that, out of my third eye, I saw all these fireflies just flying out. And just like the fireflies turned into like sparks from a fire. And it just started coming out of my head. And so what I had planned for you guys here to share with you a little bit about this energetic mastery that I have been accustomed to over the years to bring this to the people is to offer this energy activation for you from Sananda. So what I would like you to do right now is to look right here in your third eye and close your eyes. And I would like you to look at our beautiful red rose. A beautiful red rose, not a blood red, just a light red rose that denotes love. And then put white light around that rose. Take a deep breath, and as you breathe, you're going to breathe into that rose and make it become on fire of white light. And as you're bringing that energy in, every one of you here today, and he's placing his hand just in front of your third eye. And in front of your third eye, he has a ball of blue light. And in that blue light, there is a beautiful green eye. And this is the green eye of Horus. As we get older in our life, we have a tendency to accumulate a lot of emotions that have nothing to do with us or have nothing to do with who we are. And they're borrowed programs from other people. So as you are feeling this blue light, I want you to imagine that there is a green eyeball there looking into your third eye. And just be open to this. Be open to what Sananda has to share with you. And just open up your third eye and let all that green light into your third eye and down your spine, all the way down into your first chakra. And I want you to think about some conflicts in your life today, whether it be money, whether it be relationships, a relationship with yourself, relationships with the outside world, whatever process you're in, think about that. And as you're thinking about that, that green light is going to automatically dissolve those programs. So you no longer have to think about that or have that come up for you in the future. So you can use this at any time. All you have to do is call in Sananda to bring in the green eye of Horus, and then it's just feel that green light. That's beautiful. A lot of you are doing it. I can feel that. And just feel the changes. You know, feel the changes. And at the same time, Sananda is saying that he wants you to recognize that you have a heart in every chakra of your body. Not just your heart chakra. There is love that emits from your crown chakra, your third eye, your throat chakra, your heart chakra, your solar plexus, your spleen, and your kundalini. Every part of your body holds on to love. And it's important for you to share this love with yourself, to bring down the walls and dissolve the veils that keep you from inner love. As you have inner love, he says, the broadening and aspects of your life will stop the burdens that you feel that you carry. And with that, the green light is starting to increase its vitality and energy. And just feel inside yourself and have the intention to grow from this. Have the intention and choose to grow, choose to love, choose to let go, and let your body do the rest. And as they're doing that, Sananda is coming in again, and he's placing a golden ball above your crown chakra. And this is an activation from each of your high selves, coming down from your high selves into your body. And just allow that energy to flow. And as that energy is flowing with you, just open up your heart and remember who you are. Remember that you are a powerful human being. And power doesn't mean to move things with your mind. Power means to not have obligations, to witness yourself failing, but to be open to love, to have the power to see clearly and to have clear discernment for yourself. So as you're doing that, I'm going to sing this last song for you and then close this up for other people to speak. Hi, 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 hey, hi, hey, hi. Hi, 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 hey, hi. Hi, 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 hey, hi, hey, hey, yo. Hi, 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 hey, hi, hi. Hi, hi, hey, hi, hi, hey, 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 yo. Hi, 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 yo, hey, hey, yo. Blessed be. Thank you. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
Beautiful. Thank you, Matthew. That is such beautiful energy that comes through the songs, and I can really feel the ancestors embracing each one of you as you're moving more into that atom that um, Maya had activated. So beautiful to witness. I just want to just share here for a brief moment something that you had said, Matthew, that brought forward. You were speaking of the confusion and the things that are happening to people, and something that is very present right now on the planet as we're going through this process of ascending into these higher levels of being is the distortions that are causing so much havoc for many people. And that is one of the big reasons why this gathering that we've been blessed and called to provide has been brought forward, is to support you with really coming so strongly and solidly into that truth, so you can move through this with greater ease. So wonderful. Thank you, Matthew. So opening up the space for the lovely Andrea to share and yeah, enlighten us with what it is that she's bringing forward.
Hey, everyone. So, you know, I just want you to be aware that this container that we're in, for some of you, you might be really experiencing this so strongly that it's allowing things like tears to come up. And just because we're moving through something, it doesn't always mean that the tears are bad. It's like those tears, from my experience, are tears of love. And many times when you feel that deep divine intelligence of love, it brings this sensation through the body, which makes your body cry. And know that that's your body taking it in to this level of being a human, because sometimes that love is so much and so intense and so beautiful that our body's like, what do we do with this? And so we tend to cry, or we tend to feel very deeply some sensations that we're not quite used to. So there, I could do that. So as you guys, if you do know me, I'm Andrea Lynn, and it's hard to say what I do, just like Maya and Matthew, just like all of us. I feel like we tap into the highest potential of love, and we really invite you to feel that. So I'm a soul fitness mentor, and my journey, like Maya's, kind of like since we were born. I feel like that's for all of us. And it started with just, a lot of chaos in my home. And when I was very, very young, I clearly didn't realize that I was feeling all the stuff around me and the stuff around my mom. And my parents were divorced when I was very little. And I would have dreams pretty much every night of war happening. And the war was happening actually right outside my home. And I was so afraid that this war was going to get in my home and take over. And I realized as I got older that it was just the war within me and the war within my mother and my father that I was really feeling. And so for eons, I have never really felt enough. Like I never could feel my worth. And one of the ways that I would, beat myself up was through my physical vessel. So I was into performing arts at a very young age. I probably started at 4 or 5, dancing, singing, acting. And for me, it was a way to escape. It was a way to escape what I was really going through, what my family life was like, my mom being very depressed. I was sexually assaulted at 11. And so I was trying to escape all this humanness And through my performing arts, I was playing an energy that felt safe and that felt like I could express myself. And I would really beat myself up physically. Like I said, I was dancing. But what I would do is when I couldn't cope with my feelings, I would beat my body up by, like, if I felt anger or anything that didn't feel right for me, I would literally just run outside until my body collapsed. And then I felt better. But over time, that's very abusive. And then I would like binge eat or not eat because I just was like, I feel so fat and I don't feel pretty and I don't feel worthy and blah, and the stories go on and on and on, right? As most of you, or maybe some of you have experienced, hopefully not. So it's like, that's my journey of that really led me to what I'm offering today. And what made it turn, what made it really tweak for me was I got into a toxic marriage and I had a baby young. I was only 24. And my body, that was actually very thin back then, when I got pregnant at 24, my body gained like 75 pounds. So I really lost my identity as a performer. My manager fired me. You know, I had no hope anymore of being in the industry of performing. And then I was a mom and I was like, what do I do with this? And my son was very defiant and taught me so much, but it was because of my son that led me into going deeper in understanding myself, because actually he was very intuitive and psychic and was seeing dead people. And I'm like, wait, what? So he really opened the doors for me to go, okay, so am I. And I didn't have a parent that could do that for me. And so I needed to survive. So I got a job at a local gym. And that's what led me into helping people with their body. So I was selling memberships, became a personal trainer, studied nutrition, studied the mind. And there was one time where I went for a healing session because my stomach hurt all the time. And the healing session, the woman said to me, you know, you're eating really well and you're taking all these supplements. That's not what the problem is. The problem is that you haven't done the work spiritually. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Give me what I got to do. I just want to feel better. And she said, you know, you're a healer. And I was like, no, I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about. And she actually said to me, you know, when you start to embrace this part of what you have to offer and combine the body, the mind, and the spirit, that is when you're going to feel like you are in flow and your life will start to evolve more quickly. So I procrastinated. And then finally I said, okay, fine, let's do it. I'll play. You know, I need to understand myself. And through that process, I've evolved just like all of you. And I realized that the one thing that I struggled with and the one thing that I can see so clearly in somebody else is their divinity. And that is where your worth, your enoughness is really deeply rooted. And so many people, when I work with them, it's like, you know, I need to lose weight, or, you know, my body's speaking to me. It hurts. It's inflamed. I feel lost. I don't know my purpose. And when you really activate and work with your worth, all that stuff becomes easier and it becomes into alignment. And so I really feel like one of the things that most of us are leaving out is our physical vessel. Or it's like you're so far on the spiritual aspect and really searching for yourself, but your body actually carries a lot of what you're searching for. You chose the body that you're in. I truly believe that on a metaphysical level. Like, we chose our parents to learn, and we chose the body that we needed to come into this world right now, right here, for whatever it is your soul is here to do. And I noticed that so many people are leaving this aspect out. And your body's very innocent, and your innocence is connected to your inner sense. So when you can use your body as an instrument to deepening your awareness to your soul, it's like the whole process for me, in my experience, expedites. Because for a long time, I was leaving one or the other out. I was like, as a young child, I was really into archangels and I spoke to them often. And I was beating up my body, right? But then I kind of flipped the coin and started to really focus on my body and left that piece out. Like, okay, I'll be back, guys. And I realized that you need to combine the two, because the pains, discomforts, excess weight within your body are just signs of things that you need to look at, in my opinion, to help you evolve as a soul. And so, for instance, if you carry extra weight on your upper arms, like your triceps, your biceps, metaphysically, that really represents you're not embracing a situation or life or somebody to the fullest. And so it's like, oh, if I can look at what part of my life am I not truly embracing, then the body's been the conduit to help you evolve and grow. And if you have some digestive issues, right, it's a way that your body's saying, hey, there's stuff you're not really truly digesting, and maybe it is really good stuff, like spiritual energy that's coming in loud and strong, especially right now, that your body's like, I want to do this. I want to do this. Can we do this together? And so it's just asking for you to help it. And in my opinion, Ascension is about merging the higher aspect of you and your physical being, so that that light body of yours can really open up and start to work. And why? You know, it's like, really, it's because it will bring you closer to your purpose, which is really love. And your body is the bridge, you know, the rainbow bridge between Earth and between Creator. So the more clear your vessel is from foods, from emotions, then it's so much easier to feel like, okay, I know what I'm doing in this world. And will it be perfect all the time? No. But when you can use it as your conduit, then it doesn't feel like everything's so hard. It doesn't feel like you're walking through this earth carrying something that you don't feel comfortable in. So your body is really rooted in Mother Earth. I mean, there's a lot of carbon in your body, and Mother Earth has carbon. And the new Earth matrix is full of so many light codes. And that's exactly what your body is asking you to do right now, is to raise its vibration so that it can become more crystalline-like, so that it matches this new Earth. Just, you know, it's more even and you don't have so many symptoms, but yet you are evolving. And so I want to take what Maya and Matthew have already begun, which is activating the love, this love, like Maya said, it's not just cuddly warm love. I mean, that's wonderful, but this love that is all around you and within you all the time. And what happens, I noticed from myself and from working with so many people over the years, is that you feel this vibration of love and you're like, I want to stay here for as long as I can. And then all of a sudden you have that one single thought of, oh, my pants don't fit. I mean, it could be as crazy as that. And all of a sudden it's like, bam, you hit the ground and you feel that heaviness again, right? Or, oh, I wish my stomach would feel better. Or I wish my thighs didn't have so much cellulite. And I know that sounds so mundane, but yet that's what happens as a human. And so how can we bring that love vibration even deeper into all of the atoms of your being, your physical body included. And the process has already started. So what I want to do is take it a little bit deeper right now. I want you to bring up right now the first thing that comes to mind as far as like, what's that one area of your body that you have discomfort or that you dislike the most? What's that one area of your body that speaks to you often, whether it's inflamed, whether, you know, it carries extra weight? What is it? Because that's the part of you that is wanting you to look at something to evolve. So one thing, and maybe some of you are like, I have more than one, but that's okay. You can come back and do this again. So one thing, one part of your body, it could even be an organ. Like, you know, my doctor said my liver enzymes are up. So look at one thing that comes up for you right here, right now. And for a moment, just close your eyes and already feel the energy that's around you, that's set from this Christic vibration that Maya began, that's set from this activation that Matthew brought through. And I want you to specifically laser focus that energy of the Christic flame and the activation of light into this area of your body. As if with your intention, you are lasering this area to ask the Atoma to raise its vibration, raise its light quotient, so that your physical body can match the higher aspects of you. Just noticing your breath, trying to let go of the judgment of this part of your body. And I want you to just notice what color shows up for you right now. The first color that comes into your heart, into your third eye. Because this is your color that will help to bring and bridge this love energy, this light energy, the light codes that are coming through for you into this specific area of your body. So notice the color and just allow the color to do what it wants to do. It's a frequency. And with your intention, you say yes. And it begins to raise the vibration of this specific area of your body. There's many light beings that surround you, not only now, but every single day. Notice as the color is pouring into your body, into the atoma of your physical vessel, into all of your atoms. Remember, the body is subatomic particles, which is just energy. And as Maya said, matter does matter. And so you're allowing this energy, this higher frequency that's handed over to you by your higher self, by the light beings that surround you and support you every day, to laser focus into this part of your body. And work gracefully with your body so that the energy rises and your body comes back to its set point, to optimal health. And I want you to take that color right now, where it's pouring into that body, and with your breath, draw it into your heart. This is your color of worth. This is your color of being enough. And so know that as this penetrates all the atoms throughout you, that it also activates your enoughness, and that you are divine intelligence. It is carried within every particle of you. And divine intelligence is more than enough. So we ask that this activate within all parts of you now, so that you can remember this. Taking a nice deep breath in and just giving thanks for a moment to your body, giving thanks to all of the light beings that have supported you, your higher self, Mother Earth, And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Now we'll turn it back over to Katrina.
Beautiful, Andrea. Thank you. So I just want to take a moment here and just send in just a pure cosmic white light just to cleanse and purify as I was witnessing, going through everything that Maya, Matthew, and Andrea were offering to you. I was seeing the parts of you that were in resistance that were coming forward. One of my gifts, and through the wondrous journey of lessons of discernment is what I call them, being able to really tune in and see what is occurring on these really refined levels for people. One of the things that kept reoccurring that people were talking about was identity. The way that we identify ourselves. This is something that is radically dissolving and breaking down. I know for myself, I have no ability to hold an identity. Whenever you are a self-evolving being, you're continuously becoming more and shedding. And that's one of the reasons why all of us, it becomes a little bit more difficult to put into words what it is that we do. And as I was witnessing this, I spoke a little bit to the distortions that are occurring on the planet. So for those of you that are at that door, that are right there, and you can feel things tugging on you, all of the, old identities and ways that you've defined yourself, that for several of you, I could feel surfacing that resistance, those parts that are not fully aligning and they're ready to merge, but really don't know how. And that is part of the work that we'll be providing here in Crestone together in May. And one of the things that, as we're here in this space, I'm being asked to share and to support you with. So, as we grow and we embody more and more of our light, the distortions and the level of conflict around us rises, which is interesting because even though you are continuously in a peace state, and the more that you can anchor into that Atama, and the cosmic heart activation that I sent to you guys was greatly supportive of this. So what I would like to do is bring you back into that activation and send out from your Atama out into your heart, just a further blossoming of this connection and a dissolving and an alignment, of those parts of you that are setting in that resistance. So as you move forward from our time today, you're actually able to see and to witness, become a witness of those thoughts, of those emotions, of those parts of the body that are speaking to you, and having more connection into who it is that you are on these core levels, having that love streaming through. So, and with that, after this moment, I'm going to be opening up an invitation for you to step into, to experience and to feel. And if you are ready to do so, I look forward to sharing with you what it is that we've co-created together after this journey. Nena mashanda makere shada boshana mahayana mayana mu mahangare shada boyana mahayare. Just calling in higher cosmic light right now to dissolve and release any and all distortions around the minds, around the bodies, within the fields of each soul that has came here today with their permission. Allowing them to fully ground in, to pull in all that is being offered to them here today, so that they can further develop and blossom into that radiant spark of divine love, that they are here on the planet to illuminate and to support others just by their presence. Bringing your awareness, calling all of you into the heart space, all the way back into that beautiful Atama that Maya had activated and brought your attention to that white flame, seeing it there in your heart, feeling it as it's blazing through your cells, through every level, every part of your being, radiating out now into all of your cells. We're going to make our way down into the DNA and accessing and asking for the light codes that will further enhance, support, and guide you deeper into the body, this innocent vessel that you were so blessed to step into, and asking for the support from your own cosmic team to release, dissolve any and all layers of separation, anything that you're willing to just be complete with now. And from that white flame, you're going to feel this energy radiating out into that cosmic heart, filling, of course, it comes right from the Atama, out into all levels and layers of the heart, releasing any binding, any separation between you and all that is, between you and the you that is here for you now, between you and all levels of your multi-dimensional that is so ready to be expressed, to be moved, to be actualized through this beautiful vessel that holds the keys and the codes that are needed for your heart streaming out into the world, for the very movement of the energy that you agreed to bring here to the planet. And as this is illuminating, radiating out, the very energy itself is releasing and dissolving any buildup around the cellular structures, any old programming, any false conditioning, anything here I'm being shown, even from your sacred lineages, those lines of energy that you have been cultivating and moving forward, even those have within them distortions and the things that have been, kind of convoluting it. So we're going to ask for the purest and highest light, encodements, streams, intentions for any and all beings communicating with you, for it all to happen for the highest good of your soul's development and for your soul's expression here on the planet at this time as you walk through this door, completely surrendering and releasing all of the old stories, the identities, those things that keep entangling you and bringing you back into that old matrix of life that you know is no longer sustaining you. So we invite you here and now to allow the cosmic heart to illuminate out and connect you deeper into Mother Earth and out into the universe and into all levels and layers of your multidimensional oversoul, up into Source, knowing, sweet souls, that you really do have so much love and support around you. And it is such an honor to join here with you today to move through this process of the cosmic soul embodiment, knowing that with each word, with each moment that you received and allowed yourself to release further the resistance, to dissolve any levels of the distortions, to really open up and hear with a full heart what it is that was said to you today from your brothers and sisters that are speaking. It is so time for us to return home to this promise, to really bring forward that radiancy, that connection, and that remembrance that we all once had, and that our bodies, the planet is so ready. So the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to step back in? Are you ready to fully illuminate, to come forward, to dissolve those veils as they come up? Are you ready to step into a container of light that can hold that potential for you? Because that is what we are being blessed to offer you here in the sacred land of Crestone. I would like to take a moment here to just invite you all back into the bodies, back into this awareness. And I would love for Maya just to share briefly a little bit about Crestone and why here. Why is it that we are being asked to bring people here? This is the second embodiment retreat that we've been blessed to bring through. And there's a reason why this land. So I would love if Maya would enlighten us on what that is. And then I will also open up that invitation.
Okay, I believe I'm on now. Goodness, well, I was first guided to this area, to the San Luis Valley, to Crestone specifically, in 1994. And I was in Texas then, in Austin at the time, doing my work as I always have been doing. And I was called to come here. I'd never been here before. And in those days, you know, even you couldn't get on Google, you couldn't look at pictures on the web, you know, you could look at videos about Crestone. I was feeling called because someone had told me about it just briefly, and it was just a spark. I knew I had to move there. I had a lot of situations in my life, and including financial ones, and it was like, how can I do this? But it just felt like such a strong pull. So somebody friendly sent me a VHS tape with a few scenes of Crestone, you know, that I put in the box and watched, and it became even stronger. So to make a very dynamic, I won't say long, but dynamic story, a little bit shorter, I got there. You know, I got to Crestone, and my true life energy just spilled into the field. It was amazing. And Thoth was guiding me, of course, and he told me, I say he told me, you know, I don't hear him talking to me, but it's the spiritual connection that forms the energy, that forms the words in my consciousness, that this area was indeed very, very special. And that in the future, that the sacred on that he's first told me about in the 1980s, which is the true arc, the true, oops, my phone's ringing, the true arc of the covenant, that it would be coming to this mountain here, what he calls Crest in the Stone. I'm looking at it, that's why I'm glancing in that direction. And it is actually called Mount Challenger officially, but Thoth calls it Crest in the Stone. And the arc, the true sacred on, has become less and less physical through time. And so it's now almost a radiant body. And even in 1994, it was experiencing aspects of his radiousness. And so I thought, wow, it would eventually have its thresholding chamber return, apparently had been here many eons ago, here in Crestone, in that mountain. I thought, wow, maybe, you know, like 100 years from now or something. And so 7 years into my being here, I needed to move. I didn't want to leave, but there was a reason, and I followed it. And so I did. And it led me a lot of places, including the last 12, 13 years in Kauai. Now, when I was in Kauai in about 2013, I believe it was, or maybe 14, I received, ta-da, Thoth all of a sudden said, oh, by the way, the sacred on is going to be enthroned into Crest in the Stone on such and such a date this year. And I was like, what? It was one of the most shocking moments for me because I had not a clue. I was thinking, you know, way out in time. And it's not like somebody comes along and hauls it up the mountain and sticks it in a cave. It's an energetic thing, an interdimensional shift. And he's told me that this thresholding chamber, and indeed his sacred enclave here, all of this is not entirely removed, but it's slightly on another dimension. It's on it's like if you have another dimension up here, but this is like kind of like this, you know? It's just flickering right there. So anyway, it was back, but I wasn't. So I thought, oh, gee, well, it's there, I'm here. Well, that's the way it goes, you know? And I sort of put the thought, it never occurred to me I would ever be able to move back. And so then I did. Another story, a very dramatic story, how I was able to come back and to live here in Crestone 2 years ago in February of 2017. That's when I returned. And it was so right that I did return. So now I've been working with what Thoth has told me to set up this matrix here in my home, this altar matrix with the crystal skulls, the dweller crystal skulls, and other items that I have, the sacred sword of light. And it is acting as a bridging for all the dynamics that are taking place in this valley through into my work, that I call the Temple of Thoth, or the mystery work of the temple. What am I calling it? I can't remember now. The Mysterium teachings. That's what it is. Yeah, guys, it's been 50 years. Okay, I've been calling things a lot of different things through all this time, but now I'm calling it the Mysterium teachings. So anyway, it is connected to that field, but it's not just about me and what I'm doing. It's not just about my little altar and all these little things on it. Yes, these have, I believe, true intrinsic meaning to this area, or I wouldn't have been brought here to do this. So I'm not dismissing it, but I'm just saying that it ties in to all these different fields of light, to Katrina and Matthew being here now, to other people that I'm working with in my Johannine Templars, as we call ourselves. There's so much going on. And the Sacred Academy of Geoenergetics that the Templars, our small group, are putting forth in the world now. All anchored here in Crestone. There's so much more, and I don't want to give it all away because we're going to be talking about it. I'm going to be talking about it in the workshop. But it's not just about out there stuff. According to Thoth, when I first moved here, he told me this was the crown chakra of the Ascension Temple, not of the planet. He actually says the chakras of the planet are inside the body, just like you can see Mama Earth standing there. Well, she has the polar opening, that's the crown, and it goes down through into the earth and beyond, because there is truly a sacred hollow on a slightly removed dimension, just like I said about the other. So, but the Ascension Chakras are in specific places on the planet, and that means it's a place where the dynamics of the whole ascension dynamics of consciousness on this planet, the earth, the human element, the animals, the plants, everything, this is the engine that works. And the crown chakra for it is here in the San Luis Valley, most specifically in the Crestone sand dunes area, sort of in that whole region here. So that means that everything that's going on now that's changing and bringing such dimension to our world at this time. And I know we have a lot of crazy things going on, scary things going on in the world, but they're the division of two worlds. He told me that back in the 70s. The world would experience the division of worlds, and there would be two worlds. And at the time I'm going, what? I just didn't get it. But eventually I did, as he explained it and moved me into that understanding. So we're in that phase now, that dimension is, the two worlds are separating, and one of them is going to be jettisoned, the rocket engine that's full of the magnum, the molten energy that is crystallizing in old forms. It's taking those old forms and it's saying, I won't turn loose of them. Well, that's what's going to have to be jettisoned from our reality. And those of us who choose the other reality are moving forward in creating the new earth. And before we get to that new earth, that ascension dynamic of what Thoth calls light principle 40, we're going through a whole other stage of development. And so back to here, the crown chakra is what is initiating that development. All the chakras are going to play important roles. All the crown chakra, the Ascension Temple chakras are going to play a large role in this. But it has to start with the crown, actually. And then the crown is going to arc over to the base. And the base chakra is Mauna Loa in the Big Island, but it really affects the whole chain. And then we have the chakras in between that we're working with. All of this I'll be discussing, in May, and how it works. So this is a planetary experience, but we individually and collectively will experience it. And how do we do that? And how do we integrate such a a vast dynamic, or a seemingly vast dynamic, with our personal space. And those are things I'm going to be discussing as well. So it's not like you come here and you experience this wonderful place and all the magic here, and then you leave and go, well, I did that, back home again. No, it's part of actually taking it with you, because we're all connected to the Ascension Chakras. We have those Ascension Chakras in us. So I'm going to be talking about that and how we can experience it, and so on. Don't want to make this too long, but that's what I have to say about it.
Beautiful. Thank you, Maya. Oh, wonderful. So as we move forward, I just wanted to share that the container and the space that we have in Crestone that we'll be working with is some of the most powerful light ground that I've been blessed to build, and it just keeps expanding and getting bigger. I have 4 Vogels, all 33-sided, that have asked to be a part of this, to support us, which I'm very grateful for, because my vessel and the level of light that's coming in for this gathering and for this returning home to the promise has just been mind-blowing, and of course life transforming, because for us, everything that we bring through, we have to fully embody, you know, as we step into these spaces. So, you know, coming here, interacting with this land and interacting with those that are, you know, fully embodying what it is that they came here to do is just so transformational. This light ground is so multidimensional, so multifaceted, that no matter where it is you're coming in from, what level you're coming in from, what it is that you're seeking, you're going to receive it. And that's what I keep hearing, that this is really a big call. And this is something that if you're being called into the space, it is one that I highly recommend to answer. So the name of our gathering is Returning Home to the Promise, Eradicating the Bells of Separation and Embodying the Soul's Truth. So that's pretty bold, but witnessing the level of light that's coming through and what's being offered and moving through our last moments here together, I will send you this PDF. But if this is your calling, if this is your time, and you're ready to receive this level of support, then I highly recommend getting in here. And if Andrea, Matthew, or Maya has anything further to share, please do so. We do have testimonials and, you know, case studies of people that have had miraculous just life shifts, changes, stepping into their power, receiving things. A lot of times just one of the things with working with the cosmic heart and this new earth matrix is being able to fastly create, you know, being able to use that life force energy to call to you what's needed when it's aligned, that Maya was speaking about myself. So.
I did have one thing I wanted to share about what I'm going to be sharing at the event. Let me turn on my camera. Yeah. Here we are. There's a lot to it, and I'm not going to talk about all of that because we're coming to the end of our special time together. But one of the things that I've received most recently, but it's been built on information that I received as far back as 1974. So I say I received it recently. Well, it's the capstone of it. And that's what I'm going to be presenting, or one of the key things I'm going to be presenting at our gathering in May. And it has to do with what I'm receiving being called the planetary mantles. And that each planet in our solar system, and Thoth says there are 3 more than we know about, so we're including those as well. Each planet in our solar system connects to us directly and feeds us certain information. Now, I'm not speaking about astrology, and I certainly recognize and admire and respect astrology, although I'm not an astrologist, but this is beyond that. This has to do with each planet being an intelligent being, having, like Gaia has a soul. Well, each planet in our solar system has a soul. How that develops, what that really means will be discussed. And then talking about the planetary mantles are energy fields that go around our body. This is not the auras, although the auras are connected to it and work with it. And these planetary systems or mantles connect. Each one has a different frequency that comes to us as a mantle. Saturn, Mars, Venus, and all of that. And I'm going to talk about how we can connect to that and really develop the frequency, because that's part of our cosmic being that wants to speak to us and to help us form the energy beings that we are. And we've largely cut those off, and nobody even apparently, I'm not saying nobody knows about it but me, that would be rather presumptuous, but in the form that I'm being given it, I haven't heard about it before. And I'd like to share that. And also I've been given symbols. Actually, just today I actually received the symbols. And these symbols, each one connects to one of these planets in regard to how it works with our mantles, our planetary mantles. And I was shown, even though I have artworks that go with each of these, just to kind of get you into the feel of it, the actual symbols I'm going to be putting on a strip so that it can be printed off, and I will have it. Hopefully I can do that at the gathering and have them already printed off for the people that are there. And you can put your fingers on these. And I'm going to be shown exactly how to do that, which I haven't been yet. And the actual fingerprints that we have correlate with these mantles, and how you can attune and by touching the image of the symbol to your fingerprint. So this is something I'm still developing and working on, but we will be working with it in my presentation in the gathering. So I just wanted to share that because I'm kind of excited about it. Thank you.
Beautiful, Maya. Yeah, there's so much more. And being that we have not sent out a bigger sales page, there'll be more information on that. But of course, the price is going to be rise by then, and we really wanted to honor you and your time and your space here, and being able to experience each one of us, and setting in this field where so much information is given to you beyond the words that we say. So we trust and know that if this is your calling, if this is your time, then we will see you there. So many blessings to each one of you. Thank you, Matthew, Andre, and Maya, for coming into this space and sharing your truth and your beauty and your grace with everyone. And thank you, everyone, just beautiful, powerful beings that you are, for joining us. I will send out that PDF to you. It appears our link did not work. So with that, I bid each one of you the most incredible dreams. Yes.
Katrina, I want to say one last thing before you guys go. What I've experienced here from Crestone, I've been living in Mount Shasta for over 13, 14 years. And each of these places are like altars. When you go to Mount Shasta, you have to face yourself. There's a crystal city to some, and then for a lot of us Native Americans, Mount Shasta is like an altar. And Crestone is the same way. A lot of the Native Americans, the indigenous people, have shared with me that underneath the crest and Crestone, there is a huge quartz crystal that's underneath the ground. And underneath that is water that's been energized by that crystal. So when you come here, it's important to really feel into the sacred place. In Mount Shasta, you go to ceremony and you listen to what nature has to teach you, and you're able to channel into that beautiful nature rhythm of that vibration and really feel into what has been there, the people who have prayed there, the energies that have been implemented there, and the medicine that have, and the ceremonies that have been there. You get to soak all that energy up. Like Superman, when he came into the planet Earth, he soaked up all the ions from the sun and he became superhuman. I'm not saying that's going to happen to you here, but when you come to Crestone, be mindful that there's a lot of power here. And when you're here, it's really important to have certain like shungite or some kind of jade to help you ground into the energy so you become full embraced by the magical energy that's here in Crestone. And I'm sure Maya will give you some more of that information when you guys come here for that weekend. Thank you for letting me share.
Wonderful. Thank you, Matthew. All right, just taking a moment to access any and all things that you've retrieved here today, asking for all of this to be grounded deep within your awareness and being. And as you go into dream time, that anything that is ready to be seen and revealed to you, that you'll be receptive and open to accessing and bringing that through now. Many, many blessings, and we hope to see all of you there. Bye for now.